Especially if she bring home the check.
Come on. You already know.
You already know.
She cheating on you soon anyway. Just so you know. Everybody out there who girl take care of you.
That's a PSA for Rico Love.
She cheating on you.
But the
guy like Promise.
You know what time it is. It's time for the Business Hours. After Hours. With Promise. It's not a threat, it's a promise.
Yo, you know who it is and what it is. If you don't, it's the one they call Promise, and you're tuned into another episode of the Business Hours After Hours. You know how it goes down with crazy content, dope guests. Tonight is no exception. For this show, I got Grammy nominated singer, songwriter, producer, record exec. Plus, he happens to be from that 414 Milwaukee County. I got none other than Mr. Rico Love. Turn the lights on.
What up? It's Rico Love, Mr. Turn the Lights On. You tuned into the Business Hours After Hours. It's not a threat, it's a promise. Turn the lights on.
Got Rico Love in the building.
Yes, sir.
Busy man. Appreciate you taking some time out to come holler at me.
Mm-hmm.
First off, man, let me just say salute and congratulations on everything you've done thus far.
Thank you.
No, absolutely, man.
I appreciate it.
I've been a fan of yours from when you had just trying to get my money right. You know what I'm saying?
Get my money right.
Yeah. I was rocking with you then. I remember you had the tape with Mace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Maximum exposure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was a fan of yours from back then.
Mm-hmm.
So to see everything you transition into and where you get to this point now is amazing to see it. So I want to salute you. No, absolutely. Now you got the We Love Music Conference.
Yes.
Now you started was it Indianapolis you did it?
The first year we did it in Indianapolis, a part of the Indiana Black Expo.
Yeah.
So we watched it grow. We partnered with them in the first year. The second year we did it independently.
Okay.
And then the third year we took it to Baltimore. And then I said, well, you know what? Let's try to make a home for it in Milwaukee. So this is our first year bringing it here. We also did South Africa 2 years.
You was in Johannesburg too,
Johannesburg,
right?
Soweto, actually, 2 years in a row.
Okay.
And it's been incredible. It's growing. People are learning. People are building. They're communicating with each other. They're forming alliances.
Yeah.
Which is really
like a
the
network.
most important. Yeah, that's the most important part about the conference. It's not just the opportunity to learn from somebody who's been in the game. It's more about connecting with other people who are just as hungry as you, just as passionate as you, who want to learn, being around like-minded individuals, still sharp and still.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You got to get together and become stronger, and you form Voltron.
Right.
And then you're able to conquer the world. And instead of you chasing the labels start
come
chasing
to you. Yeah.
Because you've built something that's proven.
Okay. Now, what was it like taking it to Africa? You know what I mean? It's one thing to do it in the States, but for you to try to take this, or not try to, but you took it to another continent. What was that experience
like? It was so incredibly humbling, for the lack of better words.
Okay.
You know? I'm funny about that word.
I was about to say, the last time we had an encounter, you did a whole spiel on being humble.
I'm funny about that word, but when I say that, I mean like we should be humble before God. We should
Absolutely.
submit ourselves before God.
Yeah.
I felt that way in Africa.
Okay.
I felt like I was humbling myself. I felt like I'm coming to a place of a group of people who I have a high level of respect and admiration for because they know who they are.
Okay.
We don't know who we are.
We don't have that full identity.
We don't know who our great-great-great-great-grandparents are. We don't know who our ancestors are.
Stripped away. We don't even know where we're from, our origin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I say I was humbling, I mean that because I feel like I was submitting myself to something higher and greater than me.
Absolutely.
So it was incredible to see how eager they were to learn.
Yeah.
And also just the love and communion they have within each other.
Okay.
They love each other.
Yeah.
It's natural.
It's in a different vibe.
A black man treats another black man with so much respect without even knowing them. And that to me is something that I was just so
taken back by.
Yeah. I was impressed by it and to say the least.
So what was the relationship like for you to even take it over there? Like did you have prior relationships with maybe artists or different people, or what was the inspiration? Just say, yo, let's go to Africa.
A guy put together, a guy named Nolan Baines, he put together the Soweto Jazz Festival.
Okay.
He saw what I was doing with the conference, and he said, look, he presented it to the people,
to
the government, and they were like, yo, this is incredible. You know, and he said, would you like to be involved? You know what you're doing at the conference. Would you like to bring it to South Africa?
Okay.
And I was like,
yeah, well, like, why not? Yeah.
And then we had such an impact the first year that they said, well, we would love to bring you back for the year too. So I was like, you know, And what I'm doing with the conference wasn't even directly a part of Soweto Jazz Festival.
Okay.
The Jazz Festival was a separate concert
on its own.
Yeah, but what he brought me for the conference was just independent, going to different universities and bringing people together
to speak.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Wow. And what did you feel about, like, you know, right now it's a lot of world music, a lot of Afro sounds are invading the States, a lot of they dancing. What did you feel about the vibe and the culture and the music scene over there?
Same thing. Like it's incredible. I hung out with Casper Neilvest, who's like my homie, and we went to his concert and to see how they embrace him and how this guy rocks out in front of 10,000 people and then does an after party in a hole in the wall club. You know what I mean? Like it's just the way they are connected to the culture and to their people. Okay, it's incredible. Musically, you know, it's a new energy out there called piano, like called piano music, and it's basically the rhythm, the pattern, the energy of the record. Shesha is a song out there that's one of the biggest records out there. Okay, so it's like not exactly Afrobeat. Yeah, South Africa has its own language and its own energy. Okay, but it was incredible to see people singing records in their native tongue, and you would be in a club and they'd be playing Future, and then 5 minutes later they play an all African set. Yeah, like you would leave a club. Normally I get to a club in Miami around 2:30 in the morning, right? That's when we start the party. Right. You go to the club in Africa 2:30, you party till like 3:30, 3:45, you get ready to leave, and then they bring out drums and they start doing all African music at 4 in the morning. What? So it's like live 4 to 7 a.m. and they playing music and playing along with the DJ. And it's at that time we getting food. Exactly. In Miami, like we leave the club around 4 o'clock. That's when they get turned up. Yeah. That's when they get cranked up. Okay. So I was like, just soaking it all in and taking in the culture and being a student. I'm always a student. So absorbing the energy, studying it and just watching the energy and learning from it. That's amazing. And now obviously you bringing it back to your home base, back to the mill. And I want to commend you on that. I know when I ran into you formally, the first time I really got to meet you was last year. We was at Hip Hop Week. You did the keynote address and I introduced you and brought you out. And I remember you spoke that day about just your different experiences of being in the city and the struggles you dealt with when you first started to ascend. And then kind of almost like how you had almost like a love-hate relationship kind of with the city at one point with various reasons. And then you almost apologized to the city for having sentiments against people who didn't do anything to you almost. Yeah. You had personal issues or different things that you kind of removed yourself at one point. You felt like you wanted to come back and reestablish yourself. I stopped coming to Milwaukee because a lot of people may be too young to remember. When I first got in the game, I was coming here a lot. Yeah. You know, I was having events, and I started getting death threats and I started having people like, I wasn't even on yet. Yeah. I was just almost in the door. Yeah. And you start having people say they're gonna kill you if you come to the town, and this is like people you never met before. Yeah. It's different issues. And then I started at first I was like laughed it off, and then it started getting ridiculous. It got to the point where it was like, hold on, man, I'm minding my business. I'm not bothering I ain't bothering nobody. Yeah. I'm really just trying to come back and help and be involved. So then I stopped coming. So then when you stop coming, then they started saying, there's another conversation. Oh, he don't want to rep the mill. He don't come back to Milwaukee. And you listen to the music and it's like, what? He said Milwaukee in every single song he's ever put out. Okay. He's like got a Brewers hat on his first video. Yeah, Settle Down video. He's on 106 in Park and it's shining out. He's in TRL. And so what I decided was then I got rich. Right. So then when you get rich, then you like, I'm really not coming back. Yeah. I don't have to be here. I get love everywhere I go. Yeah. You was like, she's like, you know what? I'm cool. Yeah. I don't have nothing to prove to y'all. And then what I realized was later on, I realized that I allowed a few people to taint everything. Yeah. My view and my perception of people who I feel like are extremely talented and taught me a lot about life. So I apologize for abandoning the city in that sense. But what I do believe is I don't owe it to anybody to help them. I don't care if a person is from my block. I don't care if they grew up in the same house as me. Yeah. If you don't have the talent or the drive or the consistency or the persistence, right, I'm not going to even fool with you. So I don't owe anybody anything here. Let's just make that clear. I wasn't saying that, the other day, even 2 days ago, a guy got on Twitter and he said, somebody was talking about an event I spoke at last week. Okay. And he was like, Rico Love don't care about the city. He trying to do a money grab. And he only does things for tax write-offs. And I'm like, okay. So that's how he viewing the conference. Obviously, this kid don't even know what taxes, how it works. So because it just don't work like that. He just speaking on how promotion. Just as an experiment. Now, I wish I got my phone. I'll show it to you. Okay. But I just commented to him. I said, if that's how you really feel, let's have a conversation, because what you're saying is not accurate. So let's talk about it.
Okay.
If you really got a real issue, send me your information and let's chat.
Let's holler. Yeah.
Right away, he DM me, and he's like, "No, man, I'm just saying, it's a lot more you could do." I said, "So what's all the tax stuff? Tell me, explain that to me.
Why you coming out the neck? Yeah."
And he's like, "No, maybe I was going too far with that."
He wanted a reaction.
Of course. Yeah. So then I had a conversation with him, brief, and he says, "No, man, I apologize. That wasn't right. And I'm a big fan and I respect." And I said, that's what people miss. They hear the guy talking crazy.
Yeah.
They hear the guy saying he got an issue with me, but they don't hear the part about him saying I'm a big fan.
Right.
And I really just want to, and I got some ideas, and
I really just want to get in front of you.
Yeah. No, I don't want to hear your ideas now.
Yeah.
No.
Your approach was all wrong.
I don't want even, all I wanted you to do in my effort was to just show you that you don't even mean the things you say.
Yeah.
And you spreading this hatred amongst people. And for what?
Yeah.
To a man who really, literally, all I do is go to the studio and be with my kids, bro.
Right.
I don't bother nobody.
You stay out the way.
I stay all the way out the way. I mind my business. But what I've learned throughout the years, and that's going back to my relationship in Milwaukee, is when I talk to Meek, he got the same issues in Philly.
Of course.
You know,
it's funny, Gotti, you think the narrative is unique to you.
When I talk to Gotti, it's the same thing in Memphis.
Yeah.
You talk to Ye, it's the same thing in Chicago.
Right.
It's always going to be the guy. The Bible even says
people call it Nazareth syndrome.
The prophet got no love in his hometown. They say that in the Bible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a situation where no matter what, and I've had guys make whole disc records and compilations, and you're just like, I never had an argument with these people.
The funny thing is, because you take your head off and put it on somebody else who's ever in that position,
it's gonna be the same thing.
And
it has nothing to do with me.
No, it's not.
It has nothing to do with me, and guarantee is rare that the people who may have the issues with you make it off their block.
Right.
It's rare.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very, very rare. So
but I'm happy to see even the space you in now. Like I said, you had differences and issues in the past, and people may have had the grievances with you, but the growth and maturity, and just even you just acknowledging things, I think that's dope. Because you're in a position where you could. Because
there's a lot of kids that could have been helped, and a lot of kids I could have been helping and being involved with.
Yeah.
But I allowed the words of adults.
Yeah.
To make the kids suffer
and make you be like, I'm good.
Yeah. And because it's easy to say you're good.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you, because I went through a very, very difficult time financially.
Okay.
And I went through a few years where it was like I was really doing bad financially. And all I ever thought was, I know I'm gonna get through it.
Yeah, it's too sharp.
It's just it happens. But when I was going through it, all I was thinking was, if those guys knew this, the same guys who apologized and said I'm sorry, Zola, they would use it
against you.
Oh.
Yeah, because now it's an angle.
Yeah, that's what he
ain't got that real paper anyway.
And luckily I was able to maneuver and get
up out of it.
Which is what a hustler do. Anyway. Puff went through it. Rihanna went through it. Jay went through it.
You take L's before you lose.
Everybody gonna take the L. And I'm talking about being up.
Yeah.
I'm talking about having millions and millions of dollars and then getting sued by this person, and then now you can't even pay your light bill.
That's a whole different type of struggle. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So all I was thinking when I was going through it was like, man, they would love to see this.
Okay.
And what I had to realize is that the reason why I am who I am and they are who they are is because they would thrive on that.
Yeah.
And what got me through it and what got me past it and what made me come back greater than ever is the fact that there's a hustle in me.
Yeah.
And the hustle that got me to become the Rico Love that people know and love or hate.
Right.
It's the same thing that they don't have and they lack, that not only wouldn't get them to that point, but also would have made them blow their brains out if they'd have lost it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it's one thing to get it, it's another thing to maintain.
Being broke is so easy. It's so comfortable when you ain't never had none.
Because you don't know. You don't know. Yeah, you don't know.
So coming up and losing it.
It's a different story.
It's like, wow. It's there's so many people that depend on you at that point.
Yeah.
And I just always tell people, don't tell me I'm not impressed with how you made it. I want to see what happened when you hit rock bottom.
Right.
I don't help the city because you don't know what I do for the city.
Right.
You don't know that I was feeding people for 10 years in a row.
And at the end of the day,
and giving money to every year for feeding 500 people every year, Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
You don't know about that. You don't care to know. You don't care what I do for the city. You
but at the end of the day, it's about an opportunity, Rico. And at the end of the day, if you give somebody an opportunity, I always think back to the story you talk about with you and Usher. And I use that example with a lot of young artists when I talk to them. And I'm like, Do you want opportunity? Do you want some money?
Yeah.
I remember you telling that story.
Yeah.
And it's like, the only thing people should be asking for of anybody who's of significance or status who makes it from somewhere and comes back to the town is ask for resources. That's the only thing I ask.
But I wouldn't even say that, because why are you asking for anything from home?
Well, I don't mean it like that. What I mean is if a person like myself, if I continue to move at the rate I'm moving and I establish my brand and I continue to grow and I decide to remove myself from Milwaukee at a certain point, I may go on to live and do things in other places. But what I would come back and do is do different things in different pockets to create resources, avenues. I want the city to be better than when I found it. I want the lane to be better for somebody else than it was for me.
And also, but the point you made was great, is that you just get up and leave and do what you had to do, because it's so much you can do here. I'm not trying to say that people think that you have to leave to make.
No, you should milk the cow.
There's so much that you could do here, but is a ceiling in every place.
Absolutely.
A ceiling on America.
Yeah.
So there's only much you could do. Only so much you could do in America.
States,
and then you're gonna go overseas, and there's only so much you can do there. There's only so much you can do. So at the end of the day, the person who gets up and goes and get it, he not only gonna connect with me inevitably, but he gonna appreciate me when he see me.
Right.
Because he gonna recognize when he go through it, he gonna look at me different.
Yeah.
The guy who never had got up off the couch, he don't even mad. Because he obviously, the person who's trying knows what it feels like to try.
Right.
They can never be angry at me.
Nah, because they know what it's like.
So the guy who thinks
it's the dude sitting on his hands.
The guy who says he's trying,
but he's not.
You're trying to get on. You're not trying to get on. Every time a rapper come to town, you pull up on him at the club and you say, "Yo, bro, check out my stuff," and then he say no, or he too busy, and you get angry,
you upset, you vent,
and then you.
But if he do what you want him to do, there's no issue.
Exactly.
And let's switch gears for a second, man. Let's talk about this Even Kings Die project.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I like the project, man. I actually do like the project.
You said it like you're surprised.
No. What I'm saying is because the reason I say that is because the first record that I heard off of it was Fight for Your Love.
Fight for You. Yeah.
Fight for You. That was the first record I heard. So I like that record, but I wasn't sure for this project where you were going with it. So when I actually got deep into it and actually listened to it, I could tell it was almost like a conceptual project.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even with like the skits and
every album,
the interlude.
But every project I do.
Okay.
I send to
Discreet Luxury.
Yeah. To Turn the Lights On album. Everything I do is conceptual. I don't make albums unless I'm feeling something or dealing with issues. And like I said, I went through it was so many symbols in that, and I went through a very difficult time in my life, and I just needed to express.
Yeah.
So a lot of people might look at the relationship standpoint of Even Kings Die, not just the conceptually. It's more about on your greatest day.
Okay.
Understand that in 2 seconds it can be the worst thing that ever happened.
Like that.
The worst try. Even a king can die.
Yeah.
I went out to Malibu and rented this cottage, and it was at this vineyard, and I just went out there for like a week.
How long you stay?
And I just writing records and just making music with this incredible view and drinking wine every night.
Just vibing out.
And I wrote God Forgives out there. I wrote
Shine and Faith are two of my favorite records on the project.
Yeah, I love those. I think I made not this Shine here in the States, but I think I re-recorded the vocals out there. But it was like it was incredible to be able to just create a body of work with no expectations of I just want to make a dope project.
Yeah.
And the love it got is just incredible to see.
But for the interlude though, if people haven't heard it, the interlude is funny, but it's real.
Yeah.
When you was talking about like how many dudes, chicks you smashed. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end it's like, but what if somebody smashed my chick? You know what I mean? Like that, just listening to that, I almost listened to the project differently after I heard the interlude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just really,
and that's just
the vulnerability of a man.
But that's the piece of it. It's like not even, everything is one piece. And I know we live in a streaming world and people kind of like listen to songs all over the place. But I'm from an era of making an album.
And we listen to it all the way
you
through.
got to understand it that way.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for you to even, I mean, I like each individual song should be good.
Yeah.
You know, and I try my best to make the best records I can. But the album tells a story. And even in the end, it kind of like culminates and you live inside your head. You know what I mean? A guy will, like if a guy has sex with 100 girls, it's like a girl can take you back. But if a girl texts one guy,
it's over.
It like in his heart.
He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, and just because it was a communication there,
right?
So even King's Die is like showing like that's how it feels like death to a man what a woman can do. I always tell people like somebody was saying, well, all I did, okay, if you stab me 100 times,
right,
and I live, and then I stab you once and you die, how I'm gonna say to you, what you die for? I only stabbed you once. You hit the artery that could do it.
You hit that spot.
You know what I mean? So don't judge how strong you are and how strong you are.
It's funny.
We might not have the same level of endurance.
Even with that example, like I had a conversation with somebody on a similar line, just talking about like, you know how it's always the age-old thing, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, right? Mm-hmm. But then I thought about it like, you look at one of my favorite R&B records is 112 Player. Mm-hmm. That was my joint.
I'm a player.
Right. But the essence of that song, like really think about it. Q was basically saying on the song, like, I'm not ready to be with you right now. I'm still out here doing some things. But when I get done, I'm going to come get with you. In reality, I'm like, if a woman told a man, I'm going to go out here and fuck these niggas, and then when I get done, I'm going to settle down. We want to be able to like live our lives. We would
still hit her.
But you don't want to. You don't view her the same.
You would never consider her your wife.
Ever. But the funny thing about dudes is like we want to live a life. Sometimes we want to live, and when we ready to chill out, we want to be the one and want a woman to accept us. And a lot of times they do. Mm-hmm. So that's just a funny parallel.
Yeah, but there are a lot of I would say there are a lot of disadvantages and advantages. But at the end of the day, a man is required to do a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
So in fairness,
it balances out in other ways.
It's a lot of double standards when it comes to being
facts.
Like a man is required to have all this money, take care, you pay the bills, do all this stuff.
She could be on the bus stop.
And she could be on the bus stop and have nothing. And she'll look at you and say, well, if you ain't doing this, you're like, sweetie, you can't even feed yourself.
Correct.
Like you literally cannot feed yourself.
But she viewing you a certain way.
But you look down on me because I might not be able to give you or whatever. And that's just how it is. So it's double standards on both sides where a man is, of course, if a man is taking care of everything, paying all the bills, doing what he's supposed to do,
right,
he's going to feel like he has the right to do that. Now, if a man, I'm not trying to say a man's job is to take care of a woman who's not his wife, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that he should have that pressure on him. But if you are, if that is your shorty and you can't provide for her, then you better damn well be faithful. You better come home on time if you ain't got no money. And I'm not trying to say money is everything.
But I know what you're saying.
If you gonna
that's a whole.
Yeah, if you're gonna be a dog, you're gonna have to pay to play. You gotta be able to say, I can help out with a few things.
Yeah.
Since but a man who ain't so the double standard is there is real.
For sure.
But he should be doing something. I'm not trying to say she shouldn't work or do what she gotta do to take care of herself.
Both people should add value.
Yeah.
Bring something to the table.
Bring something to the table. What she bring to the table may not be financial, but she gotta do something. If she gonna be talking the way she talking too, you know what I mean? If you don't clean and cook or do nothing like that, that's fine. If you working, But if you ain't got working,
nothing going for yourself, like
if you not, hold on. If I'm taking care of all the bills and doing this, then I better have some respect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You better not talk to me like no child and none of that, and you better be able to contribute into my lifestyle in some way. That don't mean that a woman is supposed to be clear for everybody who only like to hear what they want to hear.
You know, they selective.
Yeah, they selective. I'm not saying a woman's supposed to only cook and clean and a man can do all that stuff too. But if you don't provide anything for the household, the man is providing everything financially.
Yeah.
Then your contribution should be, let me make sure this house is clean. Let me make sure he eating good. Let me make sure he got.
Let me help offset
when he got peace when he come home, and I'm supporting and taking care and providing what I can.
Right.
So it's all fairness. And the same I say with a man. So I can go back to the fellas. Fellas, if you ain't doing what you got to do and not taking care of your responsibilities as a man, you're not making her feel like a woman if you're not taking care of the bills and doing what you got to do for yourself. Let's forget what you're doing for your household. If you're not doing all that, then bro, you better be cooking and cleaning too. You better figure out a way to bring something to the table and give her some feet rubs and prepare her meal for her and shut your mouth too.
Absolutely. Especially if she bring home the check.
Come on. You already know.
You already know.
She cheating on you soon anyway. Just so you know. Everybody out there who girl take care of you.
That's a PSA for Rico Love.
She cheating on you.
But the
guy like promise.
But stop. He said it, not me. Now, when you writing for yourself, I know it's different than when you're writing for other artists. Mm-hmm. So I wondered your process, because I know you said once before when you wrote for Melanie Fiona and when you wrote for Mary J, you wrote those records in a certain time span, and you actually wrote from your own experience. But those were records for women. So obviously, when you're writing your records, you can pull from your own personal experience and just write for Rico. But when you go in the studio, or you're about to work with somebody else's project, what's your process? Are you still pulling from personal experience?
I study people.
Okay.
And I always try to imagine what is. I sit with an artist and I say, all right, cool. What is personality like? And innately, quickly, I can say, I know they'll say this.
Okay.
I know they'll sing this song.
Because you want the record to sound like them, right?
Their personality. It's almost always going to sound like me.
Okay.
Because of my writing style.
Gotcha.
So that's one of those things. You can always listen to a record and say, Rico wrote that.
Okay.
And if I didn't, they was a student. You know what I mean? And I mean that with all due respect to anybody who's a student. But it's innately going to sound like me and my writing style. Just like when you hear Neo's song, you can always tell Neo wrote that. Yeah. Right? So, but personality-wise, what would this person say? Okay. Like, would she say this? Would this character, when I'm listening to them, I'm having a conversation, when I'm listening to other music they've done, when I'm being around them, I can say, all right, cool, I know she'll say this. Okay. Sometimes I'll be in a studio artist and I'll make the most outlandish, craziest joke. Yeah. And I'll see if they'll laugh. Okay. You know what I mean? To catch a vibe? No, to see if, all right, cool, if she'll laugh at that, if she get that joke, I know she'll say this thing I'll sing. Okay. So I do little things that trying to understand personality and character. You can't get too vulgar because now we live in this whole Me Too age. And people, you got to be careful. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. Yeah. But I try to say things that's kind of like walking the line, vulgarity, but still, nothing that's offensive or making anybody feel uncomfortable. So I want, make sure I'm clear to the people watching so they don't try to take it and do the wrong thing. Well, right. Seriously, because people will take that. They're twisted. Yeah. So what I try to do is try to get an idea of, okay, I didn't really see her energy on that. I know she won't say this. Okay. If I write this part, I don't know if she'll. And I almost always get it right when I write the record. Yeah. Like, oh my God, I feel like you're in my head, and you know what I. Yeah. Because they don't even understand. You fill out a questionnaire. Okay. The first 35 minutes in the studio with me, when you just filling out, just having a good time talking and watching the game or watching this or having a conversation about someone on TV or something that happened in politics. You don't know. I'm quizzing you. Gotcha. I'm just trying to see how you react to certain things. Okay. From your point of view. Without asking you, hey, why do you directly? No, okay, that's because you're gonna give me the answer you think I should. Yeah, you're gonna gauge yourself. Yeah, yeah. So, but if I kind of like have these conversations and these fillers to kind of get an idea how they think. Okay. Now on the flip side, you also wear other hats. You have the production hat. You have the artist hat. So what's your approach when you producing versus writing records for artists? It's the same thing. Same process. Because when I'm producing a record, it's because I'm arranging the music and I'm arranging sonically, and I'll be in the studio with D-Town and I'll be like, nah, that ain't right, bro. Yeah. Take this approach. Okay. And at first it'll be frustrating, especially a guy who's incredible musician and he's incredible producer. He's super dope. And you like sitting there, you saying, this ain't it, bro. We got to do it. This is not it. And then when he gets it the way I say it, every time he always like, damn. Yeah. I'm so happy we went that way. Shout out to D-Town. Yeah, he's in the room. Like, or so they it's like sometimes it's frustrating to be able to say to somebody, that ain't it. This ain't it. Yeah. And then even I'm talking about me and him been working together for 20 years. But even with him, sometimes he like, what? And I'm not telling what I. And then when he does it, he's like, I see what you're saying. Okay, I get it. Yeah. I get it. Because you sitting here working, you in the headphones, you bringing out, you vibing out. Yeah. That's production though. That's what a producer. I'm a producer. I can hear something and say, I need it to feel like this. I need to feel this way. I need to, and I know how to tell you what it is. I know how to. Now is that the same with for people who may be tuning in who aren't familiar with what actually EPing is, executive producing? Yeah. So like with Trina's executive producing the project though, it's like doing that over a whole times 10. Yeah, for the whole project. Yeah, and basically with Trina, I set the tone of the album with for her new project. So I just basically said, this is the tone. Yeah. We got in on the first session for the album, did records. And I said, well, this is... Now, let me ask you about that, because you and Crit had worked together previously. Mm-hmm. Y'all had to Pay Attention record, and then you produced some stuff on that, you and D-Town on the EPs he dropped. But to EP actually an artist record like him, somebody who is a producer himself, somebody who is a writer, somebody who is very hands-on with his own work, for him to actually trust you, because you're dope as well, but y'all both dope in your own right. So what was it like for you as the type of artist and individual you are to take more of a rapper, more of a producer, and say, I'm gonna EP this? What was that? It's the exact same thing. Yeah. I'm saying to him, he'll play me something and I'll be like, that's a good vibe. Let's stay on this track. Or nah, that ain't it. But that hook ain't right. Let's change it. Or he in the studio and I'll hear I hear Janger chopping up a Jill Scott sample.
Yeah.
And I say, not that part, take this part. All right,
okay.
Part. And I'll go in them, I need
the energy record.
Energy.
Fire.
This world
is killing me.
Light it up, light it up.
You feeling me? Light it up. If you feeling me? Light it up.
Then I took that I feel and I put it in the hook.
Mm.
You know, like, so it's like
almost overseeing
chopping it up.
Yeah.
But not just overseeing. I'm taking the
you interjecting
and I'm chopping it up
and putting
and
pieces.
This part need to be here. This part need to be here. And I wrote a lot of the hooks on the record.
Really?
And I would tell him, do that verse over. Now, if Andre 3000 was on this record, how would he approach it? And then he'll be like, oh wow,
I'm gonna go different.
Now and then I would say, all right, cool. Now Pimp was on this. If this was Pimp, what would Pimp say on this track? And then he would give me that energy on it.
Okay.
So it's gotta be, you gotta have a vision and you gotta understand the music and understand what's gonna be the best for that voice.
Okay.
Like, how can I bring the best out of your voice and out of your writing? How can I challenge you?
Okay.
Even if you uncomfortable, even if you wrote this verse over 6 times.
Yeah.
You like, man, I don't feel like writing this verse, Rico tripping.
Yeah.
By the 7th time you write that verse over, you're gonna be like, oh my God.
It's the final. It's what we needed.
Sometimes it's tricking somebody. Sometimes I might not like your first verse. So instead of me saying I don't like your first verse, I say, I think this song needs 3 verses.
So you get them to write something else.
Write the 3rd verse, or take the 2nd verse, make the first verse, and make the. And I said, we don't need that first verse, bro. You was right. We only need 2 verses. Yeah. We're just gonna put that here. It's psychology.
You find a way to do it. Yeah. I was interested in that, because like I said, people who don't know music hear the terms or hear the words of people EPing movies, like you said, TV, music, but they don't always necessarily know what goes into what that person's actually doing when they're involved with that project. So that's why I wanted you to kind of break
it's science and it's psychology. Okay. That's all it is. Like, for instance, when you have an artist, I just did a deal over at Epic with Sylvia Rome for a new artist. I just signed. Yeah, with an artist I just signed named Mia Ariana.
Okay.
So
R&B,
rap. She's different. She's just incredible.
Okay.
So I have the label fly us in for the meeting to meet with. I didn't tell this girl. I had signed her directly to me.
To Division 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't tell her we had a meeting with Sylvia Rome.
Okay.
I told her we gotta go to LA. We got a meeting to go to in LA.
Yeah.
So the label flew us out, but I make sure the label fly us out. They flew me out 3 days before the meeting. Flew out 2 days before.
Okay. So you had a leap day.
So she missed her flight. So I had to tell her that she just blew the meeting. So at the airport, that's when I told her, you was flying out here to meet with Sylvia Rome to do the deal. You just blew it. You missed the flight. So now you might look at that and say, well, that's wrong to do that to that girl. No, it's not
real.
She gotta know. And when she got there, we tell her, don't worry, we're gonna meet tomorrow.
For another meet, yeah.
We're gonna get the makeup meeting. And then later you tell her, you didn't miss the meeting. You missed your flight.
Yeah.
But I know I've been in this game long enough.
I set it up to where
if you did miss the flight, I set it up so that
you wouldn't miss the
meeting.
Yeah.
And it's psychology. It's basically saying she'll never miss a flight.
Sometimes let me think for you.
She'll never miss a flight again. She don't want to feel that pressure.
Ever.
She thinking she just missing a meeting, but then when she found out, you just stood up Sylvia Rome on her dime. She paid for this flight.
Right. You
like, now in your mind, I never want to miss another flight for nothing again in my life.
Yeah, because what could be on the other side of that flight?
Man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And that's the game. And when you've been in the game longer than I've been in the game, you learn how to, you learn how to play, make sure people do it. And some people use it for bad. I only use it for good.
Yeah,
I'm only going to use it to,
use your power
to make,
for good
to make
people
the
better.
person better. Yeah, always.
Yeah, no, it's definitely twisting times. Rico, before I get you out of here, there's always something I do whenever I sit down with people. I always play this game of first and last, all right? I'm going to ask you a first and I'm going to ask you a last. Sometimes they correlated, sometimes they not. You ready? All right, the first one I ask every guest I sit down with, what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
People will lie and say pray, right?
No, I'm going to compile all of them one day.
I look at CNN and I try to see what happened in the news that morning.
Okay. So
the news, like, because Donald Trump is always doing something, you know what I mean? So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I check my CNN app.
Okay.
And I just see, it's like reading the paper in the morning. So I guess it's like when your dad used to read the paper.
Back in it. Some people like, what's a paper?
Some people like, what's a dad? But so it's like the first thing in the morning I check my CNN app.
Okay. Some people always tell me they hop on their phone for social media. And especially when I talk with female artists or female celebrities,
check their IG.
I always tell them, stop doing that.
Yeah.
I say when you wake up, give yourself a moment to yourself before you open yourself up to everybody else's problems.
That's a fact. And I think I do the same thing, but it's not social. I don't look at my Instagram when I first look. I look at CNN and try to see what's going on in the news.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is the same thing. I need to give myself a second.
You have to.
Because I'm opening up myself to everybody's problems
already.
Also. But on a larger scale,
even worse.
Like, what's going on in
the world?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you that advice.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
So I tell people, I'm like, if it ain't Jesus calling or mama,
I should say a prayer or read a daily devotional or something like that. That's what I'm gonna start doing.
There it is, right there. All right. What's the first album you ever bought with your own money?
First album I ever bought.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
If you can remember.
First
album.
Life After Death. Biggie.
Big.
Yeah.
The double.
You know what? No. It was Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Reasonable Doubt was the first album I ever bought.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Reasonable Doubt was?
Yeah, first album I ever bought.
The first album I ever bought was Hard Knock Life.
Wow.
Growing up in the Midwest, we actually keep hip hop afloat.
Yeah, but
because we listen to everybody.
But when I was growing up,
in that era,
it was Breed, it was Pac, it was
Facts. We was listening to West Coast heavy.
It was not Biggie.
This is true.
It was Bone Thugs. It was
Twister.
They thought the Biggie was whack.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
I remember getting arguments about Jay-Z as a kid.
Like, my uncle. I used to argue. My uncle used to tell me Hov was whack,
and I didn't understand UGK until I got older.
Yeah.
I remember people saying Pimp C was better than Jay-Z, and I'd be like,
"You're like, what are you talking?
I don't
about?
even want him to talk to you."
Right.
And then I got older and realized, hold on, Pimp C was very
Pimp C was
good.
dope. Yeah.
Like Pimp C was lyrical.
We
like,
was listening to a lot of 8-Ball MJG.
Yeah,
too,
8-Ball,
like
but I think nobody could question their lyricism. Like
but people guys, don't get them. They don't get the credit.
Yeah, don't get the credit.
Like 8-Ball actually,
they don't get the credit. That's true.
Yeah,
but it's hard when you holding up 8-Ball MJG next to UGK.
Well, here's the trifecta: 8-Ball MJG, UGK, and Outkast.
Yeah.
That's the greatest issue when you talk about.
But Outkast was a little bit more commercially accepted
later.
Quicker.
Well, after ATLO.
Yeah.
The first album, Southern Ballistic was still underground. Yeah.
But when they took off, and it was a testament to Andre 3000's eccentric style after dating Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
After he did Erykah Badu and he started wearing
the turbans
they became a pop group because now they became something to look at. Like, who is these guys? Running through the city with the straight off and bomb through the back. It was just like, wow, like the Sorry Miss Jackson album, but it was just like
Stank On
You. It was just like, what are they?
After Stank On You, they was out of the stratosphere.
Yeah, it was just out of here.
I didn't get on them until Aquemini. My cousin played Aquemini for me.
Aquemini was Southern Playalistic was for me because a good friend of mine, Terrence Jordan, he facing 2 life sentences right now, and he grew up across the street from me, and he put me on Outkast. And I remember him being like, you know, a humongous Andre 3000 fan.
Yeah.
And that's how I got hit. And I just started, you know, I think they kind of eclipsed, they separated themselves from 8-Ball MJG and UGK quickly. Because
they did have commercial
tempo. They started giving different, even on Southern Playalistic, melodically.
Yeah.
Even though Pimp C was singing on all of those hooks, whenever you hear those high-pitched falsetto singing on the UGK record,
right,
that's Pimp C singing.
And Pimp was doing a lot of production.
Playing the bass.
Yeah, guitar. Yeah.
Playing the bass guitar on a lot of those records, and people don't know that.
Yeah.
And I think he kept that a secret because I think maybe it's because of the way it could have looked in the hip hop.
Well, his image at that time. Yeah, it didn't match.
Yeah.
Okay, that's real. All right. When's the last time you called a girl by the wrong name?
Man, probably in I don't think I ever did that. My life.
You ain't never called a female by the wrong name.
I make a living off words.
Never
in my life. Ever.
Okay.
Ever. My OG Josh. I never. And my OG Josh is sitting right over there. You know how disappointed he'd have been in me if he'd ever seen me do that. He'll snap his finger and say, "Girl, what's your name? Just whatever your name is." He'll do that before he say the wrong name.
No, he avoid it.
No, ain't no avoid it. I don't know. Whatever your name is, I can't. You know, I ain't good with these names. He'll do that before he say.
Before he said the wrong one.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay, all right. The last one. When is the last time Rico gave a damn?
Last time I gave it, I always give a damn, and that's my problem.
Okay.
When the last time I didn't give a damn? That'd be a better question.
Okay. When the last
I always give it. That's my problem. I stay up at night thinking about things I shouldn't be thinking about.
Okay.
I torment myself on things that I feel like this should have happened this way, and it shouldn't happen this way, and I did this for this person. They shouldn't have did me like that. I got to learn how to not give a damn. But people like me, we never gonna be like that. We care too much. We care about helping everybody.
I have to tell myself to shut down.
Yeah,
sometimes.
You got to tell yourself. I don't sleep good at night because it's so much on my mind. I don't know how to turn it off.
I feel like it's not enough hours in the day.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's always something else I should be doing or want to be doing. But that let me know maybe we build a little different.
That's a fact.
Than other people.
And that's why we're gonna be blessed a little bit more than the average person, is because it's a lot on us and there's a lot of weight we got to carry. Too much is given, much is required. So that's just a part of the game.
There it is right there, man. Rico Love, appreciate you coming through, brother.
No doubt.
To do the show. You already know, it's not a threat, it's a promise. Yeah, it is.